Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bruiser Airlines. This is your captain, Camo Chameleon. Be prepared, we're coming up with some big turbulence ahead, but buckle up, baby, because we're heading on in. The Ticketmaster will be with you shortly, so I hope you've subscribed, because if you haven't, you've been thrown off the flight. Alright friends, the Bruiser is back. I've joined a PVP company on the Legacy servers, so we did a war the other night. And as you know from a little while ago, I think it was last week, I did the Mage, but this time I did the Bruiser. Bruiser's videos are going to be incoming, expect more. Now, little bit of a history lesson. If you're a long time subscriber, you'll know that I played the Learn to Play Bruiser series for a long time, but I just could never seem to get the wars right. And I was always like bottom of the table in terms of damage. I like reviewed my videos, I went over with people that did really well, and they all said, well, it seems like you're doing everything properly, but I just couldn't seem to increase my damage, so I was like ultra nervous about going into this war, because I was like, oh god, please don't let me be at the bottom of the table again, like, because I just, because otherwise you just sort of have to admit that you're shit, really. And so I was real nervous when I came in, and historically, OGHyppemaster, who was, I haven't seen that much lately, but he was like my Yoda once upon a time, good bruiser, and he sort of said to me for ages, I honestly don't think you do anything wrong, I think it's just that your gear's been rubbish. Because I have a propensity to change my weapons around quite a bit, so I never actually quite get the weapon traits that I want or the gear leveled up. And he said this to me over and over again. Well, we're about to find out, because I did my war again, and my heart rate was going at about 160 beats per minute, so I got some free exercise without getting off my chair, and I just died here, so that didn't help the heart rate either. But I'll give you a rundown. What Camo did wrong, that's going to be like a little bit of the video, and what Camo did right, and then we'll kind of look at my score along the way just to see kind of like how I'm doing comparably. Now, I just want to be clear, I'm not trying to compare myself to anyone, I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anyone or worse than anyone, I'm just doing it to sort of show like how well I am doing. Okay, so that's the sort of journey, makes it a little bit more interesting. So at the start, we went and capped the node. So we went and capped A node, and so now we're on B node, and we're trying to capture that. Now also at the start, I was just kind of like, obviously really nervous, so, and I was just finding my feet, because I haven't done a war. I've done a war on the Mage recently, but I haven't done that, but that was only once, last week. But I haven't done a war for like 6 months. So I was A, coming in on a class that historically I haven't done that well in, and B, I was a little bit like nervous about. So at the moment I'm kind of just sort of madly running around, just sort of calming my nerves. So I feel like my gameplay improves as the war goes on. And so I'm just going to say, on this build, I've been getting top 3 in OPRs quite consistently. So I know that it works, I know the build is good, and I know that I can fight in clumps and do a lot of damage. So I was just hoping that would translate into the wars. Obviously OPR isn't a war, but and there'll be a bit of a learning curve. So right here, I'm just stupid. I just way overextend, and then I pay for it. So I deserve that death for sure. But just a little bit, again, just trying to sort of find my feet. So right now, I'm ranked 80th. So I look at that score and I think, oh dear, it's happening all over again. My damage is rubbish. What's going on? So I come in here and I play a little smart. I see that we've got a little clump in there. So I go in, see, I mean, in the wars, I know that you should always go in where you outnumber them. And I just have this kind of weird habit. Well, I used to have this weird habit of like trying to go in and do a big blooming like gravity well maelstrom on a whole clump of players. But that's just not, that's not the best strategy. So there I did quite well. I found my clump. I'm just trying to sort of run around the edges of the node, picking people off, getting in there, getting my damage and getting out, because I am wearing medium armor, so I'm not like super heavy. So I'm kind of playing better here than I was at the start where, but again, you know, I mean, I don't want to keep going on about it, but I was just sort of finding my feet. I was quite nervous. My heart rate was quite high, so I was just, so they've really pushed into our back lines there, to our back lines, so, but we've been told to stand on the node, so this is where I am, and I'm just kind of like running around in our heels to make sure that I stay alive. I'm just trying to get some Maelstrom kills off there, get these people out of our back lines, get a gravity well on them. But yeah, my health is quite low. I get caught in a root, and then it's game over. So our whole team wipes there, though, so it wasn't just me. So right now I'm 74th rank, so still not good, but I'm slowly climbing up as I'm improving my gameplay. So now that I'm feeling a little calmer, I'm trying to sort of stick with our group a little bit more.
Where are you?
I'm looking forward to doing more wars because I'll get better and better with each run, I'm sure. So he says he's in their back lines, but then I come to get to him, but then they pull back. So right now, I just don't want to get caught up in a washing machine with all the heavies. So I sort of pull back a little bit, and I can see that little clump of our guys out on the left near the fire. And so I come through and try to kind of add to that, just lay down the damage and really finish these guys off. So you see that we're actually pushing them back. And I think one of the things that I want to do next time is really make sure that I stick with our ball a lot more. Like I wasn't really doing that. I'm sort of almost playing a little bit like a light armor user, I think. Being a little bit too evasive. But yeah. Oh, also, if any of you are watching this, you've done lots of wars and you have anything, or you see anything I'm doing wrong, definitely like let me know, because I'll take any criticism. I can. So I see this big clump here. We've got like nice big heals, but I hear to get back from the shot caller, so I come back to our back lines, kill that guy, and then we're heading back up to 12 o'clock, which is their side. But I'm totally surrounded by their enemies here, so I've pushed in a little too deep. So I'm desperately trying to get away, standing on our heels, but I actually managed to get into our heels and somehow survive that. God knows how. I do that stun, which works because I thought that guy was going to try to come and kill me. So I do that stun, presuming that's what he was going to do, and sure enough, that is what he did. So these guys are just tearing up our backline. And now, yeah, so it's not good because then our healers are getting rest. So yeah, I'm sort of trying to get those guys to get out of our backlines, but I've kind of lost my group a little bit here, which isn't good. So here I'm just trying to, we had a big wipe, so a lot of our team has died. So I'm waiting for my teammates to come back. So I was just sort of looking around to find where is our ball, how can I add. So you can see there that I'm starting to play a little bit better because I'm not just running and attacking people. I'm actually trying to see, well, where's our group and how can I go and help, you know, aid in that, you know, so the XV1s is what I'm looking for. So I see that their healers are all on their own off to this camp, so the fire side. So I was sort of trying to harass them a little bit, but then I get told to come back and join them. So at this moment, I'm still kind of finding my feet, so I'm kind of just running around, getting used to the war, feeling like, okay, I'm not doing terrible. So what happened is, there was a point where I was just really nervous, and then sort of around this time I start to calm down and think, okay, like stop being stupid. You know you can do well because you do well in OPRs and you get like top 3. So start playing like that. Like start playing safe. Don't get yourself killed. Don't go into fights you know you're going to die in. Like right now we're outnumbering these guys, so this was a good choice. So I'm starting to make the right decisions here, and you'll see that it starts to reflect on my score quite a bit. Like I start to jump up the table. So yeah, but we're pulling back because we just want, a lot of our numbers have died. So we're just trying to regroup a little bit and get our numbers back before we go in for a big push. Okay, so the main thing I think is that you just want to be consistent. So the things that I'm picking up now, and which I am doing better to be fair, is just keeping yourself alive and not dying, which is the main thing, which is what I started to do kind of like about a third of the way in. And So yeah, mainly just keeping alive really is the most important thing, and then trying to do damage while doing that. So at the moment, we're just trying to group up, so I'm just sticking with the bull. You can see that it's getting hit by the musket there, but it's no problems really. And then we're pushing in for 12 o'clock, so we're going in there trying to do big damage. I get caught in a lot of stuns there, and I managed to get into our heals. So I'm just desperately trying to get away and get a heal off. Do a Path of Destiny just in case anyone was chasing me. For some reason I decided it's a good idea. I want to get into these heals, you see, because I'm figuring they might bring me back up, get some Maelstrom down, but then I just get isolated and killed. I think a lot of our group got wiped, to be fair. But looking at the damage, I've now moved up to 57th place. So that was from 75th. So obviously that change in tactic where I was trying to be consistent, trying to keep myself alive more often, and just be a bit more careful, is actually starting to work because I was climbing up the table quite a lot. So obviously our group has had a big wipe because as I pull out, we're getting really pushed back down to our gates. So right now, I'm just trying to fight the little ones. Like this guy pushes himself a little too far, overextends, so I try to get on him. Manages to get away, but just trying to keep myself alive, stay in the group, but trying to get those little stragglers. So I can sort of see an opportunity here. Kind of probably pushing a little too deep here, but I can see some guys out over here on the left, so I try to aid in that fight. Get a stun on them, do my next stun, get a kill, and then
we're on campfire right now.
should have got a Maelstrom up there.
Don't push in too deep.
But I'm just trying to keep safe, trying to keep consistent, trying to get that damage off, trying to sort of get in, get the damage, and then get out. Throw in a nice big Maelstrom, which catches a whole clump of them, and then they get wiped. So that was a nice Maelstrom there. Now we're getting calls to get on the campfire, but I'm already there, so that's good. So right now I'm playing around with the Zerg really nicely. Our Zerg, I'm sort of sticking with the bull, and so my survivability is obviously increasing a lot. But here I'm pushing in quite deep into the reds, and I fall out of that bull, and then I pay for it. So that's where I'm being inconsistent. That's the sort of thing I need to watch out for. Alright, so I come out fighting in the back lines, and we managed to cap it, so this is good. Then they tell me to go C, but because I'm so specially challenged, I go in the wrong direction initially. And then you're about to see something that I'm not proud of to this day. I honestly didn't see him. This is my team, my usual duo partner, Leos. He's trying to heal us in the team. I just walked straight on by. Look, again in slow motion, there he is, my teammate, the guy that always heals me. I'm running along, I could save him. And then I'm like, excuse. I even jump, excuse me, I've got somewhere to be. Just leave him alone. I felt so bad when I saw that, because usually I try to peel for my healers a lot. I just didn't see him. And I was so busy trying to get to C. So, yeah. Apparently he saw me, though, because he wasn't that impressed afterwards. But anyway, so we get to C. And we're outnumbering them, so it's just kind of going ham. Trying to find clumps of them so we can do a lot of damage on them. So we're just pushing up the road here to get down a Path of Destiny. And just trying to catch anyone that's like... See, I have this propensity to like just leave the ball. I think that's something I really need to focus on. Because when I'm with the ball, I'm getting quite a bit of damage. I'm getting kills, so yeah. But we managed to cap C. We come back onto C to cap it. Chuck down another gravity well. Oh, okay, I don't go into C. I'm just trying to stop people from coming down. Now they're getting the calls to go onto the point. So I absolutely don't go on the point, and I'm just trying to stop people from coming in. So now we've been told to push to the gate, so I just make my way up there, and then we just have a big ruffle stomp right on the gate. So obviously we just want to kill these guys off really quick, get the guy in a Maelstrom there and kill him, and get another guy in my stun. Having quite a lot of luck. And then yeah, just finish off this one guy, and then it's just a matter of smacking those doors down and trying to get in. I haven't heard where we're going, so I'm just sort of hanging back until I find out where we're pushing. So we're just waiting here while the other guys get down the doors. And so I'm just trying to get some Path of Destinies off every now and then. So this is the problem. We don't really do any... like I'm here, I'm not really doing any damage. And so for like a good minute and a half, I'm just like basically standing here. And so... yeah. I think my score climb slows a little bit at this point because I'm just kind of standing here doing nothing. You guys tell me what you would have done in a similar situation, but we're basically waiting for everyone to knock down the other doors, and then we're going to kind of push in as a unified front. So yeah, and I'm just trying to get some Path of Destiny. It's basically to stat bad, because it's not like I'm going to actually kill anyone. I mean, I want to keep the pressure on the team. That's what I'm trying to do. So, just taking it easy right now. Okay, so we're about to push in. We're just waiting for the D gate to drop. So right now I'm 52nd, and so I've managed to move myself up from like 75th, and I think that was largely where I was just trying to keep myself alive and not be a silly boy. And so at the moment though, yeah, the score isn't really climbing up too much. I don't want to get too focused on the score. Like, I know that's not the most important thing, but you know, for someone who was just kind of doing badly in wars, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't doing badly. So right now I'm kind of where I want to be. I'd obviously like to be a little higher, but I think that'll just come with a bit more experience and a little bit more wars. Like I say, I have no problems in OPR getting to the top 3, so it's just a matter of adapting for the wars in a little bit. Alright, so we're going to push in now. Yeah, what was that? That's like a minute and a half of me just standing there twiddling my thumbs. But that's fine. I mean, that was best for the war. Alright, so I drink my cleansing potions. We push in. I kind of get caught fighting on the door. I should have just pushed further in. I'm trying to get behind them, but I keep getting caught in stuns. I try to get a stun off. So I actually managed to get around them, and then we're trying to get onto the point. A lot of my teammates get wiped here. I'm trying to catch these guys. Actually managed to do a lot of damage. They're asking me to get onto the point, so I come down to the point. So at the moment we outnumber them. So just trying to get some kills. So I'm actually playing quite well here. I'm doing damage but not taking damage, which is quite good. Getting some stuns off. Capturing people. Just making sure I stay on the heels. Oh, that guy got so close to getting killed, but he runs away. I get caught in a stun there. I'm just trying to get back into the heels there. I've got quite a few people that are just hitting me there. I get another stun off. Maelstrom. More stuns. And then, oh, that guy's low too. Man, I've got to get better at finishing people off. But, you know, survivability. Surviving is better. So, this, I just get overwhelmed. Like, it's just me, and a lot of our guys had already wiped, so I became, like, it was a bit hard not to 1v5 there. So, now I'm up to 43rd, and I'm actually surrounded by some of the good bruisers. I know Manzarks is a good bruiser. I know Hodin's is a good bruiser. So, I'm kind of up with them. So that's good. So I'm obviously doing well. So I feel like, yeah, so I've gone from like 75th to 43rd. So definitely was picking up the tactic. The tactic was working. So I've come back to gate A, and I've just cut that out of the video because we stand there for like another 2 minutes, which is fine because we needed the group to come together. But again, that's like 2 minutes of me not doing any damage really. So that's, yeah, so I've just skipped through that, and then we go to the point where we actually start to push in here.
Alright, push again, push again, push again.
So we push in, but their whole group is like waiting for us, and I just can't push through. I have the cleansing potion, but they just catch us in a whole bunch of stuns, and we get body blocked, and I end up getting wiped. So there wasn't much of a push from my end. I stand back on the door for a minute and a half, so I'm just going to skip that bit while the group regroups, so to speak, and then we try for another push. So we go to push in. This time I have the cleansing potions again, but this time I just run to the left so I don't get caught out, and then I try to get into the back of them. So a bunch of our groups gets wiped, but I just made sure that I got to the back of them. So I'm just trying to attack these guys here with the few remaining team members we have. I can see another group of ours has actually managed to get to their base, but I can't quite reach them without getting caught out. So I get up these stairs because I know that I'm going to get overwhelmed soon there. And then I'm just basically trying to survive, trying to wipe these guys on the door. We're actually starting to do quite well against them, but my group is coming back to the gate, so I'm just trying to get out to them so we can push them together. And so I managed to pull out, get a little Path of Destiny on them, and then I'm back at the gate, waiting to push in again. Some of these guys have overextended, so I'm just trying to do a little bit of damage to them. So I managed to get a kill there. But then our group lead says, like, we're all here, so let's try to group up. So I'm trying to get out, but I keep getting caught in those bloody Gravwells and Maelstroms. But managed to get out, chuck down a Path of Destiny, and then we just wait to push back in. So yep, skid around the outside again. just trying to make sure that I don't die, and then it's basically like we've got one last big push where we've got to try to get the gate. I'm really proud of this guild. I still think they're doing well. They're very new, so we're still learning we're still learning tactics. We're still getting members coming in, and I really like their attitude. They're willing to learn from their mistakes, and they're not afraid to take on hard challenges. So I think these guys are going to do well. You can see there I've dropped down to 49th. That standing around not doing anything didn't help my score much, but overall I think like I did okay. Definitely better than I have previously, so I'm kind of happy about that, and I know that I can improve because I've been doing really good in OPR. So I think now that I've got that war out of the way and the sort of nerves are gone, I think I will see big improvements. So I'll definitely start trying to put up more of these wars every time I do them, for good and for bad, because I think learning from mistakes like just there, you know, learning from when you're doing badly is just as good as learning from when you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm just pushing.
So then I just come back and stat pad basically, because we've only got like 8 seconds left, so I just get in there and go ham. Just stunning, get another kill, just kill everyone I can, get back into the hills, get this health up, and there it is, a defeat. I'm sure we will see some victories shortly. So there you go, 780k damage, 47th overall. I think that I really wasn't fighting well until like after the first third of the war, and then the last third I was kind of standing around a lot doing nothing. So I'm kind of curious to see how well things go in the next war, now that I'll be a little less nervous and I'll be a bit more focused on what I need to do. So I think that was really well. Anyway, so I will definitely share those videos with you guys. Oh, and I'd just like to say Leos did a really good job healing. He was like 3rd in healing, so good job to him. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you all very soon.